Sweet. What's going on, people? I'm Alex Thorn, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And today we're joined by my best bud, the one DDG, Danny. And he's the one that you always see the name pop up to member shout out. So those are really good friends when they support you. He joined the highest tier membership, the ultimate tier. So, he's here. That's one of the perks. You get to be invited, maybe, if you're close enough to Thorn Theater. But, today we're going to watch Aliens, the 1986 release. Last week was my first ever watch along. And thank you to all who joined. I watched the original from 1979, and I learned a very important lesson Fox wanted to teach me. That if you have the audio too loud, there we go. Oh, we're getting joined by two, so we're not supposed to do that. We got to leave studio on that one. There we go. So good?
Still good.
So still learning, still trying stuff out. I try to log in from a second account so that I can moderate you guys and pull you guys up on the screen, but we might not be able to do that this stream. It is too far away. We're going to have to figure something out. Nonetheless, the last time when I watched the 1979 original version last week, Fox did a no, copyrighted me. I understand. That stream is still up, by the way, because I did a copyright fair use rebuttal on it. And so this time, you guys may not hear any of the movie. We've got it super low, and we're going to be playing it for ourselves with subtitles. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm going to give people just a little bit more time, at least till about 7:05 to join the stream, and then I'll start the movie because this one's long. And we're watching the 30th anniversary Aliens. There we go. Blu-ray release. I've had this for years and years and years, and it's also been years and years and years since I've watched this version. I did stream it about 2 years ago or so, pandemic time, maybe. So that would be 4 years by now. Man, dude,
been a while.
To think, even though we're all suffering repercussions still of the pandemic, it's wild to think that it was that long ago, 4 years ago. But yeah, I streamed it, and I haven't put in this Blu-ray in a long time, but we're watching it off a C3 OLED. He's got the C1 OLED. We're LG OLED guys. And I've always felt like streaming versus Blu-ray, there's just no comparison.
Oh, not at all. The quality is so much better on physical media.
100%. So the one thing I was mentioning, I keep praising this because, right, we all stream because it's so much easier. So we all find ourselves scrolling through all these movies and picking the movies, streaming real easy. But those moments when you decide to put in a disc, it's always this feeling of like, oh, wow. Like it makes you really appreciate your TV. It makes you appreciate the movie so much more when you're actually watching off of a disc.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Blockbuster days. Like the most fun I had was going actually there to look at all the movies, and then you bring it home.
Yeah. And I, not to throw shade at anybody, right? But if you are spending over $1,200 for a TV, Samsung, Sony, TCL, LG, you are doing yourself a serious disservice if you do not own physical media. If you're spending $1,800, if you're buying a 77-inch OLED from any brand, 75-inch TV, and you paid $12, $15, $18, $2,000, and all you do is stream, you have not seen what that TV can do at all. So even though last week I streamed Alien from Hulu, I did notice how the color grading of that movie was very different from my memory. My memory of that movie is very dark, but whoever color graded it, it had to be the remastered version. They did a great job because the bronze and the blues stuck out completely differently. So with this movie, with Aliens, and watching it on an OLED watching it from a Blu-ray, which is not everything this can do, but it's still better than streaming. I expect the colors to pop big time.
Absolutely.
You know, we're gonna give it about one more minute for people to join the stream. We got 4 people watching. Welcome everybody. We're gonna do a stream of. We're not doing a stream. We're watching. Sorry about that. You guys are streaming us while we watch Aliens from 1986, and this is because I'm doing a deep dive on the Alien series. So Jeremy Harris, let me pop you up here, brother. Jeremy Harris says, why do Aliens, bro? You can do the new prequels, my brother. And I agree with you. I know I can, and I will do them, but I'm doing an entire deep dive, Jeremy, on the whole series. So that means I have 8 movies to watch before we get to Alien Romulus, which is releasing in theaters August 16th. Are you down to watch that one?
Oh, hell yeah.
And so what that means is I got to start from the beginning. Aliens 3, Resurrection, AVP, AVP 2, Prometheus, and then Alien Covenant. And there's several of those I've never seen. Obviously, this movie right here, if you haven't seen it, then you aren't really a movie fan. And it is 7:05, and this is a long movie. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press play. If you're watching along throughout this stream, I'm going to let you guys know the time codes of where we are so you can catch up no matter what you're watching on stream, Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. And we're going to get started and press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You ready to imagine what the sounds of the movie are? Since we can't hear it.
I'll tell them what the subtitles were. What did it say?
Oh. So I was like, I don't know how we're going to hear it or whatever. He goes, well, why don't you, let's do the subtitles. Oh, that makes sense. I go to put it on the Blu-ray and it says, for the deaf and hard of hearing.
Yeah.
It couldn't just be subtitles English and everything else. No, in fact, there were other languages and all the other languages were just the language, but English was for the deaf and hard of hearing. So they had to insult you while giving you an option at the same time. Thanks, Wayland Technology.
All right.
Sigourney Weaver, dude, she looked, to my memory, she in my mind when I watched last week's Alien, right, looked completely different in the movie than my memory. So by the end of Alien, her hair is tied up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I remember her, very short hair. But in the beginning of Alien, she has this big poof 70s hair, and I feel like nobody really remembers her like that.
What do you think her most iconic look is?
Man, I gotta tell you, I like Sigourney. She's not an actress that I really think about ever, or even think about her look.
But I'm saying, as far as the Aliens franchise, what do you think people remember?
I'd probably be what she looks like here.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever this look is, and that's what's crazy is that I actually, for me, I only remember one look of Sigourney Weaver, and that was in some space movie where she had a blonde wig, a blonde like bob wig on.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I've ever seen her and said, ooh. And I remember that look, but any other movie, any other look, I've never remembered it. She's a great actress.
Oh, yeah.
I just, visually, there's not much I remember about her. Ridley Scott, of course, brought this to us. And then James Cameron, fresh off of the success of Terminator, brings us his first sequel that just blew, in my opinion, blew the original out of the water. But, let's see if my opinion changes by the end of this, because I think all the other times I've watched this movie, it was just by itself. It wasn't in succession like I did this last one. Right now, Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, is on the screen. She's in her pod.
Electronic beep.
Yes, they had, well, again, for the deaf and hard of hearing, it's letting us know that there's a beep happening on the screen. So I think it's going to be like very descriptive too.
Yeah. So
there's got to be another version.
They fall bump.
No. Really got to be careful.
If you get copyright strike, you get a copyright strike because of A blowtorch. That's
Oof.
Is it like when they hear this, is it like the music that gives you copyright strike, or is it?
It's the sound, the music. So like they instantly,
How do they know?
it's not the video for sure because there was no video on the
Okay.
screen. They hear it and it just, they know.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to type in the chat here, ask you guys, when was the first time you saw aliens?
What year did this come out in?
This came out in 86.
I definitely didn't see it in '86.
Well, I couldn't. I was just born.
I'll
So,
say, I think '88 was the first time that I saw it.
oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit older than me. So,
So,
single digits still.
oh yeah. And it was scary, I remember. With my brothers.
Yeah. And by the way, we decided to watch the theatrical version for two reasons. One is time, right? Because this version is definitely shorter than the what is it, special edition that was on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the special edition is the same as the director's cut, but I know that I saw a time code that said 2 hours and 40 minutes. I just didn't want to keep you guys here for that long. It is 7 o'clock. It is Monday. Everybody's got to work on a Tuesday. Secondly, the other reason is because I feel like when I speak about this movie and do my review, most people are going to be watching that review with the theatrical cut in mind. And maybe later down the line in the future, I'll do a theatrical cut versus, special edition or something like that. But I just didn't think it was the best to do the director's cut on this stream right now. So forgive me if you guys wanted to watch that, but we're watching the theatrical edition. And hopefully if you're streaming this right now, this is available on Hulu. And I didn't get to check where else it's available, but I know it's free on Hulu. Got Paul Reiser, who was just he just returned to the big screen for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Have you gotten a chance to see it?
I haven't. Is it good?
Yeah, it's
you
good.
recommend
It's
it?
good, man.
Okay.
It's good. It's what's interesting about it is that when you look online, all the comments, you know what this is, where I'm going with this. You either love it or you hate it. There is like no in between of no. It's like it recaptured my memories. It was great. Or God, these guys are old. They need to give it up. It doesn't do anything new. So it's just both ends of the spectrum. And speaking of like the comments of that, I noticed in like John Cena, who just tweeted out right why he follows so many people online. He said it is a lot of negativity, but he wants to learn from it. And then Eddie Murphy spoke on why he has no social media that he actually pays attention to. And he's the opposite of John Cena. He goes, there's too much negativity. I don't want to be a part of it. So it's interesting because you either love or hate the new one, but at the end of the day, you still watched it. So, Netflix and Eddie and everybody else still got their views.
Trying to think of an actor that is.
Here we go. This part opens up. This movie opens up with basically a dream sequence.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Obviously, one of the things that I had to learn and kind of put myself in the place of several times last week was 1979. This is, again, if you saw this for the very first time, would you think this is happening right here in the moment?
Absolutely.
Right, see?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we get spoiled by all the movies and all the things that we've seen over time because...
An iconic scene.
Yeah. Iconic scenes like this, you already know, like, oh, this is... Once you've seen it a few times, you've seen it in other movies, you're like, oh, there's too much happening. You know what I mean? Like this is a dream sequence. But in 1986, you think that she's having an issue.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things about last week when I watched the movie Alien, I laughed several times because the physical effects, I don't think they were meant to be cleaned up this well and seen on this type of technology, right? They meant to keep that movie dark and scary.
Right.
And this movie brightens things up and color code, or these TVs brighten things up and remasters do all that. And there's like several moments where you notice that the alien is very rubber. And there's a moment where like, and again, I can't even think about it without laughing, where it just, the hands go to the screen and they do this, they flop. And then the scene that they replicated here, where the xenomorph comes out of the stomach, breaks out of the rib cage, it looks, to me, it looks so funny.
Yeah.
Watching it back. But again, 1979 people, they're watching space be dangerous when space was being looked at as fun because of Star Wars at that time.
Would you say these movies, say in the 80s and stuff, are better watched on like older media like VHS, and just so you don't see let's take for example, what's the movie that we always talk about where like this never should have happened, Terminator 2 4K, is it? Your favorite?
Notoriously one of the worst 4K remasters ever.
Yeah.
And supposedly, see, there's a lot of,
But tell them why.
and I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
But there's more challenging opinions of the more recent Aliens. They say it looks too clean. There's no noise. Obviously, as we can see, there is noise on the screen here from the transfer. They try to clean it up, but they try to keep the integrity of the movie. They change the color of the new movies, and that's the thing. A lot of times, people will watch the originals from VHS, or they saw it on HBO on cable back in the day, right? And then they see it now, and they're like, "I don't remember this movie looking like this."
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is instead of experiencing the story, you start looking at the graphics, you start looking at things and peeping things out. Because again, even back then when you first saw it, besides it being an amazing story, you probably watched it on a 19-inch screen. You probably watched it on, a 27-inch screen for the time, which was huge. But man, like,
good point.
These remasters and color grades that we do now, they can make or break a movie and make or break an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So upgrading isn't always the greatest thing. In terms of Alien, I appreciate it, like I said earlier, the colors. The difference in last week's stream, the difference between bronze and blue was so pronounced. The bronze looked like a Callisto Protocol. And what is it? Dead Space or Dark Space?
Dead Space.
And Dead Space, the video game. That's how it looked. But you just could tell too much. Like, especially like I said earlier, when it broke out of the ribcage, it goes, it runs across. It looks like a rat toy that you pull. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm pretty sure they had one there and they pulled it, and that's how they got away with it. But did you notice that in 1979? No, not at all. Do you notice it now? Yeah, big time.
Yeah. But going back to Terminator, what's the reason that
it's very waxy, and for some reason, I believe it was, I could be wrong if one user in the chat, no, I believe James Cameron decided to replace all of the stunt doubles' face with a digital version of the actual actor's face. And it's so jarring when you watch the movie. You're just like, what is this weird look that this movie has now? And again, instead of paying attention to the story, which is amazing, right? Terminator 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. Not one of the greatest action movies, 90s movies, Arnold's movies. No, it is one of the greatest movies of all time. And yet now you're looking at it because it looks weird and you're not paying attention to the story. So, like I said, it's not always the best thing to upgrade. But then again, at the same time, it falls on those who are restoring and remastering it. What are they choosing to remaster? Are they choosing to make it a cleaner picture so the details come out more? Are they looking to? I never liked how this color was on here. Let's change that.
Yeah,
What are the fans asking for?
and you can tell that they know something wasn't right because it's constantly in the bargain bin for a movie that.
Oh, that Terminator one, it's always $8.
I mean, for a 4K Blu-ray, you're not paying less than 20, right?
Yeah, the going rate usually is about 27
So
for
to
a
get that
4K.
for that cheap, so you know,
Yeah.
basically telling you something.
Yep.
I think I tried to pick it up one time. Be like, don't you fucking dare!
Don't do that.
Smack it out of my hand. Get out of there.
Don't put that right back. Wait, because they will remaster it again on 4K, and hopefully they fix it by that time.
Okay.
By the way, for anybody joining, we are watching Aliens from 1986, and the time code that I'm currently on, this is not like streaming, so we have to do this a little bit differently. Time code I'm on is 14 minutes and 25 seconds. 1426, 1427 if you want to join, whether you're streaming, DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. We are right around the 14-minute and 31-second mark. Paul Reiser's character is talking to Ripley right now. And one thing I noticed is that earlier, when the crew found her, they were actually disappointed that they found her alive. Everybody else was dead on that ship.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually disappointed that they found her alive.
Interesting.
And I think this movie is set about 57 years. 57 years after Alien.
Yeah, but she was in a cryo sleep, so
Right.
she still looks young.
When are we going to have that technology?
Oh man,
Cryo sleep so we can wake up in the future and still be the same age and the same youngness.
they say Walt Disney did that, right? Walt
Really?
Disney, yeah. You never seen the Simpsons episode?
Oh, no.
Walt Disney is frozen. Yeah, it's they said that he's frozen, actually, like in Disneyland or something crazy.
Well, if the Simpsons say it, it's got to be true.
Hey
Right?
man, they predict a lot of stuff. Predict a lot of stuff.
Ripley's waking up constantly with this. This movie really is about her dealing with PTSD. Right?
Yeah.
The first one sets her up as right away. By the way, how long has it been since you've seen the original Alien?
30 years.
It wasn't that long for me.
It's been, yeah.
It had been about a decade or so since I had seen it. And one of the things, again, putting yourself in 1979 was, I kept saying during the stream, my God, this is a slow burn. Because I wanted to see the aliens already. Right?
Yeah.
But that's because mentally we've seen so many movies with the aliens that you just want to, come on, get to the action already. But in 1979, an audience is experiencing fear in space when they were just watching things be cool with Darth Vader and all these other people in space. And Star Trek was a big thing at that time, late 70s as well. So this was really, really different for them. Now here, we go from the first one being a sci-fi horror movie, for sure, to a sci-fi action movie, which is essentially what James Cameron did even for Terminator, right? Sci-fi horror in the first one, very serial killer-esque vibes. There's so many deaths in part one of Terminator, and then part two, it is action.
Which one did you prefer? Because to me, I like the anticipation of seeing, like if you see the monster right away, it's like But like to me, horror, I feel like maybe they're two different. Like you said, they're two different genre movies. Like one is a horror movie,
right,
and then the other one is an action.
Well, I was bothered by the slow burn.
Oh, part one?
Yeah. Going back in retrospective, because I've seen this movie so many times throughout the last, 20 years. And I want to say just about less than a year ago, I watched AVP. Boom, boom, boom. It's going pretty fast. I remember even Prometheus, I saw it twice in the theaters. And for me, it was just like, this movie's slow. And like my music, I listen to energetic music.
Yeah.
I like my movies to kind of just get going. But when it's the first one, like I prefer, you guys are going to probably hate me for this, but I prefer Halloween 2 to Halloween 1 because Halloween 2 just, boom, goes. I prefer, Friday the 13th part 3, boom, it just goes. I know the first one is the first one and it sets it up and it's iconic, but I don't like slow burn movies. Hey, speaking of, we got Kyle Reese.
Terminator,
Yeah, we got Bill Paxton in this movie too. Am I right or wrong when I say Bill Paxton? I could have just said the wrong name.
Bill Paxton.
Oh, I might be wrong. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Let's go to the cast really quickly.
That is Bill Paxton. Yes, sir.
It is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. You can tell by
He's Private Hudson. Michael Biehn, which is Kyle Reese.
The bad guy from Hard Target's in there.
Which one's that?
Hard Target with Van Damme.
No, I know what movie it is, but which one? Who's playing it?
You'll see him.
We got Lance Henriksen, the iconic. We've got the strong female. Everybody loves her, Vasquez. Let me ask you a question. I have a movie question for you now. What is your opinion on how strong female leads were portrayed in the past versus how they're portrayed now? Why does like society have such a negative reaction today versus accepting these strong female leads in the past?
So let's think of strong female leads in the past. So there's Sigourney Weaver, Alien.
Yeah.
What other movies can we think of that are like?
Oh man, so I just watched The Legend of Billie Jean.
Okay.
She's a strong female lead. Sigourney Weaver's Ripley, Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor. I know there's others that are going to pop up as we're talking, but yeah, why did we accept those? But now today, like in the latest Terminator, no, we can't have that. And there's already been talks about the new lead in Alien Romulus. Nobody's seen it yet. Lance?
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen was in?
Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I know him more from. I know him more from other horror movies, Pumpkinhead. So right now, they're Lance Henriksen's character. Let me see what this android is called because I don't want to just keep calling him by his regular name. He's doing the knife trick. Bishop, the android. He's doing that knife trick on him. Okay. Yeah, I've known him for other things than that. In fact, Hard Target is not even one of my favorite movies from Van Damme. That's probably why.
Well, going back to your question, I feel like whenever they put a female lead now, it feels forced. They do it just to say it's a female lead. You know what I mean? Like they just like it to check the box. And back then, the story actually it made sense, and people like wanted to go see these movies. Because some people say like, oh, if a woman has a lead, there's a female lead, people won't watch it, and that's not true. It just depends on the story if it makes sense. Aliens is a perfect example. I can never imagine Aliens being done by a male lead.
Right.
I just see Sigourney Weaver. I think if you replaced her, it wouldn't be the same movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel, and you're right. I feel like in the past, movies were with strong female leads were done because that's the story, and we need a woman to fulfill this who's going to portray that strong female lead. Versus today is like we have agendas and movements. That's why we need a movie to further that agenda. We need a movie to push that forward, and that's just not something. I think the audience sees right through it right away.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't have so one thing that I remember is Angelina Jolie in Salt
Okay.
or Angelina Jolie in Wanted.
Mm, love that movie.
Those were, you could clearly tell it was just written as a badass female. It was not to further anything.
Yeah.
And the most recent example, right? The most recent example of a movie being trashed because it had a strong female lead that I can think of is Terminator Dark Fate,
Yep.
right? A movie, that's all they could talk about. And everything leading up to it, all the behind the scenes, all the promo stuff was just you're going to see the future is not a man, it's a woman. And it's like Terminator was always about a strong female lead. We had Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Like there was nothing stronger. But now you had to take what everybody knew was going to be the leader of the future, John Connor, kill him off in the first scene, and then replace him with somebody that nobody cared about. And you can't do that.
Yep.
Because you want to say the future doesn't lie in a man's hand, it lies in a woman's hand. That's now you're sacrificing the story for agenda.
And then you're alienating half your
Big time.
audience.
Big time.
You know. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool characters like Tomb Raider. Raider's phenomenal. Like
Yep.
the last Tomb Raider.
Oh my God.
It's great.
You know what? I know this isn't about Tomb Raider, but I got a question for you guys. Do you prefer Angelina Jolie as Laura Croft or the last actress? I prefer the last actress. I think she did amazingly well.
She killed it.
Yeah.
She killed it. I hope they make sequels of it.
It's been so long. That's the problem. If they
maybe forgot.
Yeah, if they do make a sequel to Laura Croft, they'll probably cast somebody else.
I'm looking at this. I'm thinking about your slow burn comment, and to your point, I was just watching the King Kong and Godzilla movie. That movie from beginning to end is nothing but King Kong and Godzilla. Like there is no,
Yeah.
Like there's very little of this storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like boom, 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 and I'm like, damn, okay.
It's funny, right? Because I just said that I like faster paced movies.
Yeah.
But I did not like that King Kong and Godzilla.
You didn't like it?
Well, no, because I just can't look. My last experience and your last experience with Godzilla was -1. And -1 is all about story. And it places Godzilla as a serious threat. And then Godzilla and Kong is just go.
Here's why I liked it, and probably you didn't like. I went in expecting that to be an action movie, just just a fun movie to watch.
That's what a lot of people were saying.
Yeah, that's why I actually liked it, because it actually met my expectations.
Yeah.
-1 too was like one, or was like, damn, this is like old school Godzilla. So I super enjoyed that too, because I knew what I was expecting. Now, if I expected it to be all action like this one, I would have been really disappointed.
Right.
It depends on how what your expectations of the movie are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went into it with the wrong expectations.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
That scene right here always got like, I always love that damn robot.
The mech scene.
Yeah, I always like, as a kid, you're looking at that.
That is so cool.
It's a cool giant robot. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing too, is that she has to take up a job like a common. She's no longer part of the crew like that. She has a lot of warning to give these people about what their plans are, but they're like, you're here, you're going to work. So now she has to learn how to work this.
She's like, put me back in a coma.
This. Yeah, she has to learn how to work this mech system, and it's kind of foreshadowing, right? Because later on in this movie it comes into play. So about to see this right here, and I know you guys may disagree, and a lot of people do disagree. But that last movie, if you have not seen it, Jennifer Lopez's Netflix movie Atlas takes so much from Alien, from Terminator, from other movies. What's a video game that has a lot of like mechs like this?
A lot of mechs?
Yeah, these, whatever they're called. Mech suits.
Do you remember? Didn't Gears of War have some mechs?
But like older than that, like PS2 era, PS3 era,
Armored Core.
stuff like that.
Armored Core.
There's so much of that that plays into her movie Atlas,
Yeah.
which is crazy for me because I was a big fan of the movie. Am a big fan. When I see this, I instantly now think that, but it's still alive. It's still going on. We're still using a strong female lead in a mech system, the AI stuff to make new movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 1986, and we're seeing it, pretty much born here. I don't remember any other movie using a mech like this, a mech suit, prior to Aliens. What about you guys? You guys know any other movies prior to 1986 that used the mech system?
Even that car.
A fucking Tesla Cybertruck.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
Exactly.
They all look like action figures. All the whole crew, especially her Vasquez.
Yeah.
Vasquez just people. I don't know if they had ever seen a buff woman, a slender buff woman like that on the screen prior to her, who wasn't like a Barbarella or Barbarian, Conan the Barbarian type of female.
She's like seeing her is like seeing China for the first time.
Yeah. And she's in there hanging with the boys. And she's a different strong. This is what I love, is that she's a different strong female than Ripley. Ripley is like emotionally strong, very much about what is right and what is wrong. This girl is physically strong and adrenaline hungry. Oh, you know what? I just found out something in doing research for my Alien review that I'm putting together right now, which is the other female who was on the team in Alien 1, who also played the mother of the kid in Flight of the Navigator. She pops up on the screen here when they're talking about her team as trans.
What?
Yeah. There's a member, right? Another female member of the team in part 1.
Okay.
She had short hair.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'll show her to you.
Okay.
This chick.
Okay.
And you've seen her in other movies.
Yeah.
Right? Veronica Cartwright. Let me put her A. She was described here on the screen as trans. And they didn't throw it in your face or nothing. That never got mentioned in part 1.
Really?
Yeah, she looked like that in part 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And nobody thought nothing of it.
Nothing. But you see what I mean? They did not throw it in your face back then. Today, it would be made a huge point of the movie. So it looks like they're finally taking off. Yeah, these movies shouldn't be remade like this.
Very Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ish.
They're finally taking off.
You know what's crazy is when we like going to Target, you see a lot of Aliens toys still going on. Is there like because of the new movie, or why do you think that is? I'm seeing a lot of those toys.
The collector's editions ones?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different Aliens.
It's a popular franchise. Just like there's, Predator is huge in the collector's market.
But the thing is, right, that's what I'm saying. It's not like kids won't know.
No.
They don't even know like
No.
all that stuff. So it's like
It's I feel like making year-round toys of Alien for kids is like making Jurassic Park toys like they have. You constantly see those out full. They do not sell well. And it's a shame because they're really only going to sell when the movie comes out. Same thing. These aliens ones, these are for adults. These are for the adult toy collector.
Dude, speaking of that, I feel like the toy like generation, I guess you would say, like how ours was, where that was the big thing. Is you always had like for us growing up, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
For me, GI Joe,
Yeah.
Transformers, stuff like that. Now it's like, what's the big toy? Legos is the thing.
Legos is a big thing.
I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing really that people like kids want to collect. Funko Pops. That's a big one. I think.
Yeah.
Those are the new. I would say if I had to say like what the new
Minecraft, the Five Nights at Freddy's toys, all those.
Yeah.
So there's another section. So we always, whenever we go into a Target, whenever we go into, what's another store that we look at action figures at?
Walmart.
Walmart or Target. There's distinctly two different sections. There's an aisle with X-Men, Alien, no, not even X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, WWE, Turtles, and Jurassic Park. And then right next to it, you'll see in the next aisle, you'll see the younger kids' toys like I just said, Minecraft, Five Nights at Freddy's, Sonic, and a few others. I don't think I could be wrong, but if you have kids, the younger kids, do they collect toys? Do they care to get all of the ones in a lineup of whatever they care about? Because I know when we were kids, we wanted to get all the different Spider-Mans. We wanted all the Turtles. We wanted, well, the WWE figures that we liked, WWF guys that we liked. We wanted the Batman lineup, everything. And we know what's killing is that everybody's putting a tablet or a phone in their kids' hands.
Video games.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, when I got toys as a kid, and I bought a toy and I had another one, I'd play with them. There'd be a storyline, Batman meets, Michelangelo. Like there was actually like, I would actually play with them. Now it's like, kids will buy like Funko Pops. They'll buy it. Oh, cool. They get the dopamine hit and then they put it up on a shelf.
Yeah. I feel like toys are like a dopamine hit for kids now. And it's the reason why Toys R Us is closed in the States. It's the reason why they've spread out action figures throughout all of these different stores. And it's the reason why they've, the adults, the collectibles have taken off for the 30 and 40-year-olds rather than the action figures for kids.
Yeah. It's Toys R Us, I think, Canada.
Yeah, that's why I said this thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Canada.
So right now, if you're joining us and you're streaming it, we are watching Aliens from 1986. Time code that we're at is 36 minutes and 30 seconds, 36:31, 36:32, 36:33.
It's about time when action actually starts happening.
Yeah, this is a lot quicker than the first one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. We're already seeing guns and everything else happen now. I don't think anything happened in the first Alien until the first hour hit.
Yeah.
And then the actual Alien, which we have not seen it here yet.
The Kugel's in first.
Oh, yeah, she went in first.
Right away.
Vasquez, adrenaline junkie, and muscles. She'll give any of the guys on the team competition.
Yep. Look at them. They're even like, go.
Yeah, they're opening up the hatch door for her.
She's a badass. And
she's wearing a bandana.
Oh, there we go. She's clearly a plus subscriber from theater.
I don't know, man. I'd upgrade her to Ultimate for free.
Yeah, right. And I love the weapons.
Yeah,
I love the weapons. And mind you, she's
carrying gun.
She's carrying the heaviest weapon, by the way.
Yeah, she's carrying the Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're chatting and we're talking all this stuff, but did we catch? Are they going back to the same place where Ripley was?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because this.
Yeah, because this looks like shit already went down.
Yeah, like where the aliens came down from the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, in the first one, there's only one. Although they do go into a room. where a bunch of the eggs hatch, but you only see one.
You only see one.
Yeah, Ripley. I don't know because we're talking, unfortunately, that's what it is. And I'll do my research later on, but I don't know if they asked her to come along or she, fought to go along on this mission.
I think they would ask her because she has all the knowledge.
I would think that she would force herself to go.
Yeah,
Because they don't know her. They don't trust her,
They got a sensor that senses like
movement,
which is amazing, ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Way ahead of its time.
Nothing's going on right now. They're very cautious. The one other thing that this movie does right away is it makes you very much endeared to the team. The first one was a very small team. You don't really get attached to them. But this one, you start picking out your favorites right away.
Yeah.
These are Marines, right? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Right? My dog is dog dreaming.
He's running through the field and being called a good boy.
Yeah.
I think this is Aliens is a series that I think would benefit from a series.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. They could. I'm shocked that to this day we haven't gotten an HBO, Alien series or something like that. There's so much to do here. There's so much that can be done.
What would you say has had a bigger resurgence? Aliens or Predator? Prey was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that if it wasn't for Prey, I don't know if we would be. And resurgence in terms of who? What audience?
Today's audience. I wouldn't say like our generation, but today's audience. Like that it appeals to people now that maybe haven't seen one of these movies prior, that they can watch the new Alien, or they can watch the new, like, say, Prey, and be like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, it could be their first experience with the franchise and be.
I would say Prey, just because it was so successful. The last few Predator movies did not make a good impression on people.
Alien. Last few Alien movies?
No, the last few Predator, like The Predator, Predators, nobody cared.
Oh, no.
People didn't care. So Prey really turned it around.
Yeah.
And I think that it could be challenged by the new Alien Romulus. It just really depends. It depends on how successful that movie is. One of the things that I've been reading before the movie comes out is either the producer or director was saying if it could be done practically, effect-wise, they did it. So a lot of the movie is practical effects. Apparently, it was the same thing for the new Beverly Hills Cop. They said they tried to do as much practically as they possibly could to avoid CGI.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if the new Alien Romulus leaves a good impression on people, I think that would overtake the popularity of Predator.
I don't think,
because it really did almost go back to square one. Prey, because it went back to one Predator.
One Predator. That's
Yeah.
One Predator, and it was like in those times, and
And you could just take it to any time. That's the cool thing.
Take them to. That's the badass thing that they did with it, is that now you can take Predator to Japan, where he's fighting a samurai or something. That would be badass. You could take him to the Viking times, where he's fighting, a Viking Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take it anywhere you want. It's kind of like the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah.
That is the one thing I think that that Predator has advantage over alien.
Oh, it's a huge
Is
advantage,
that
but I don't think anybody ever thought about it
yeah? Because
until now.
when I think of alien, you're thinking space.
Right,
You're thinking sci-fi. Predator, you can take him anywhere, and
right,
it'll work any timeline.
right. I would say aliens is I would say aliens is very much wash, rinse, repeat. You send the colonial marines in, they get attacked by a bunch of aliens, they fight them, end of movie.
That's it.
You know,
Yeah.
which you can keep it going forever. You really can, but in terms of variety, I think the interest becomes the different types of aliens that you can create. But that's about it.
That's why I think uh, aliens will benefit more from a series than like Predator. 100%, because you can extend it,
Facts.
you can extend it,
Facts.
season. And people love their space stuff, man. People love their space series
Yeah.
or movies and stuff like that. I mean, you got a lot of sci-fi fans.
They're doing a lot of exploring right now. They've come across, which of course Resident Evil, I'm sure took from this. They've come across these face huggers. What are they called at that point before they're full xenomorphs? The babies.
Face huggers.
Yeah, I guess face huggers is what we're gonna call them. They've come across those. Somebody has obviously been studying them because they're in, water and glass and all this stuff. See, this is a different type of exploration of the aliens than part one. They're already assuming you, the viewer, knows what an alien looks like.
See, now there's
And now we're finally starting to get some movement. We're starting to get some movement on their detector.
this guy just starts shooting everywhere. Kyle Reese.
Has Ripley go first. Also, Lance Henriksen playing Bishop here, the android. So, hold on, before I even get to that, what they just saw moving and what Kyle Reese shot at was a live human, a little girl.
And he missed.
And he missed. And he missed.
Yeah.
Fucking knew. Now he's smiling. Look at him trying to get her.
He just killed her. You almost tried to kill me, yeah.
He almost trying to kill her, and now he's trying to get her. But Bishop, this is a part that, when I watched Alien last week, I completely forgot that there was an android on board.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that who was considered the head of the ship in the first one was an android. And he turns on them. I blocked that out of my mind completely. But now, and she's very cautious of Bishop, by the way, Ripley, in this movie. She does not trust an android being with them because of her experience in the first movie. As this goes along, we find out that Bishop is true to his word. He actually is a good guy. I got a 9.1.4 system that we can't hear at all right now.
Completely useless.
I upgraded my theater, you guys, so that I can't hear it.
Yeah.
I'm, I love YouTube, and I know YouTube is where you guys are at and the big audience. But my God, these companies got to let loose with these copyright claims, and
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm being honest about it. It really is.
It's been over 40 years, guys. Like, come on. Like if a movie just came out, I understand. But people can go and watch this movie.
I think what companies really forget about, honestly, dude, is every time a reaction happens, a review happens, you are pointing people back to the big company so that you go watch their movie.
It's free advertisement.
It's free advertisement. The pennies that the streamers make versus the millions that the big company like Fox makes on something like this is You know, it's just so crazy. And I know in the video game world, Nintendo is like, you can't show anything of theirs, right?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
They're the worst, actually. They're the worst.
What do you think about this Blu-ray, the way it looks on here so far?
It's not bad. Not bad. It stays true to the original.
A
As
lot of
best as yeah, very blue, but as best as it can, it stays true to the original.
what's funny is like I don't I have a VHS player, but I don't own any of the Aliens movies yet on VHS. It's awful that I said a VHS player. I have a VCR. Let's put it that way. Um, I wonder, like, the shock that it would be watching it like this and then putting in the VHS and being like, Jesus Christ, it doesn't look anything like what we just watched.
Yeah, it'll look so different.
Yeah. So there's a lot of natural noise on the screen right now. Does it bother you at all to see noise in a movie like this?
No, not this movie. I prefer it actually.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer it. You know where it'd be great to watch a movie like this? On the projector. I had Predator on there when I first moved in, and we saw it. And we're like, damn, just
Yeah, because it wasn't about the details. It was just about the size of the screen and the experience.
it was
Yeah.
like being at a theater. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. There's again, what you choose to watch your movie on really does dictate your experience. It changes a lot. And so watching it on this like C3 OLED TV, you're more into the colors and the detail. It's one of the reasons I still have a VCR is because there's certain movies. I told this story in last week's hangout on Saturdays. I do a hangout where I talk to you guys about what's been going on in the week. And I was on Tubi scrolling through movies. I come across a movie called Black Moon Rising with Tommy Lee Jones and Linda Hamilton. I've never seen it. So I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I got to watch this. 15 minutes in, I stopped the movie. Not because it was terrible, not because it sucked, because it looked so clear. And you can tell this is a 1984, 85, maybe 86 movie, definitely budget movie. I immediately, when I stopped it, went to eBay, bought the VHS, and I'm going to watch it that way because some movies are just better off watched like that, you know, like in their original formats. Some movies don't need to get upgraded.
Agree.
By the way, if you're joining us, we are watching Aliens from 1986. I am doing an Alien franchise deep dive in July and August leading up to Alien Romulus, which releases in theaters August 16th. And if you're watching along or if you want to watch along, I'm watching it on Blu-ray and time code is 51 minutes and 34 seconds, 51:35, 51:36, 51:37 if you want to join. You know, I noticed this last week when I watched Alien, and I think it's the times, right? I think it was just how people looked back then. But I find it interesting that they choose older looking people to play androids. The one thing that Prometheus did really well, and I forget the name of the character, the actor, but the person that they chose to play the android looked very young, like perfect face, no body fat. You know, they just look like they could be made into a robot or something like that.
Yeah.
Here, you've got Lance Henriksen, who has all the sins of his life on his face. Every cigarette he ever smoked is a new line on his face. And then in the previous movie in 1979, the guy that they chose, he had like a beer belly. He's balding. Lance Henriksen barely has hair here. I'm like, what? This just has to be a sign of the times. People looked older because of the lives that they led in the 80s and 70s. I I know there was good-looking young people. Why didn't they choose them for these roles?
For the Android part?
For the Android role, yeah, fucking Cybertruck coming in here.
I got Tesla, yeah.
Yeah, to the Access Ram 3. I don't know if anybody has mentioned that the Cybertruck looks like it comes from the Aliens movie. And I'm sure there's other movies that, it looks like it comes from, but every time this vehicle that the Colonial Marines are in pops up, I think of the Cybertruck. I wonder if Elon Musk got it from there.
Probably.
Hey, why can't we make a car like that? Because you're not supposed to? That's why?
Elon Musk even made a flamethrower. Did you do that?
He did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. Oh, dude, he's got to be a fan of this. Any Cybertruck Tesla owners in the chat? Leave a comment down below. So we're about almost an hour into the movie. We've seen face huggers. We've seen a very early intro scene that was a dream that just, ever so briefly showed an alien, a xenomorph, but we're almost an hour in and we haven't had one alien.
Not one.
Look at that.
That looks amazing.
Look at that. So I think they're entering the hive right now because everything is wet and everything they're entering looks like an alien.
Yeah, let's go in.
Did they send her in first? They sure did. Vasquez once again is the first one to go in. I love that it's always very wet around the aliens. And they're just slimy and wet. The fact that they built all of this is so cool.
Yeah, that looks amazing. There's smoke.
They just said it looks like secreted resin. Resin. Secreted resin. Yeah. Moist, hot. So the movement, the meter that they have that measures movements, it's showing on one side the Marines coming in, and they are going straight forward to this hive of aliens, and they have no idea what they're encountering. They can't shoot. So all of them have guns and they can't shoot because of nuclear explosion.
They'll blow it up. Get them out of there. I always loved that with aliens, they made them so lethal that they made their blood as acid. I thought that was such a great.
So again, it's going to come into play here big time. But when I saw the first one last week, there's one point where I think they shot it or something like that. And when it bleeds, no, they cut off one of the legs of the face hugger. When it bleeds, that acid dripped through the first floor to the second floor and slowed down to the basement. How lethal it went through 2 floors.
It's amazing.
Hard to beat, hard to beat. And of course, They feel like the guns they have, they're badasses, and each of them are badasses in their own right. But
It's using shotgun that's just gonna spread their guts everywhere.
yeah,
Blood.
they just have no idea what they're coming into. Yeah, this is way more detailed than the first one right away. They're showing a lot more. Look at how moist and wet everything is, and they said it's hot too.
Mm.
Oh wow! So there's a person. What would you say? How would we describe that?
Just like
Almost like
frozen, almost.
yeah. Well, like he said, like resin, right?
Yeah.
There's like a person in the wall. The best thing I can think about is like Spider-Man's webs,
Yeah.
right? Spider-Man's webs is there's people in the wall. Oh, Jesus Christ. The eggs have hatched. They've shed their skin. See, that's what this movie does well. It already is like there's people here. They've already made it with these people.
Yep.
Bro, she looks like she means business. Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
She's not playing no games. Is that a guy or a chick?
It's a chick.
She gets no screen time at all. No personality to show either.
She'll probably be the first one back.
So they just found a live person in the wall.
Just please kill me.
Here we go. A xenomorph is popping out of her chest. And Ripley is just instantly, flashbacking to what happened.
That's the way to go. Fire.
Up front,
Mm-hmm.
quickly, because their armor is very thick. And they grow.
Oh, boy. That's terrifying.
So they're all coming alive. They're all waking up right now.
They're everywhere. They're surrounded.
Their signals are going off like crazy.
It's crazy seeing this movie. Like seeing it for the first time. I haven't seen it in so long.
That's awesome.
I think it's literally been like, oh yeah, not even kidding, like over 30 years probably.
Since you've seen this one, Aliens.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, man. It's been a long.
That's awesome. I love that, man. I'm glad you joined.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one right there too.
Oh boy.
But they have no idea because they look like everything that's happening.
They're part of the wall. Oh God. That's it.
They took the guy with the flamethrower and he just put one of the other Marines on fire. So if you're watching along or if you want to join, we are, and everything just started, we are at an hour and 2 minutes.
We're at the meat and potatoes.
Yep, here we go. This movie knew what they were doing. An hour in, they're like, we got them.
Yep.
Let's go. The aliens are all coming around. Remember, the audience that's seen this in 1986 saw one alien very briefly. I would say a screen time, a total of maybe 5 minutes in the first movie.
It's like the first Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah, he has like 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
But here, as opposed to what you just mentioned, we're about to multiply the aliens. The budget grew for this movie for sure. But beyond the budget is how good practical effects became. How, what a huge leap from one guy in a big rubber suit to mechanics, and tons of people controlling animatronics and all this shit in 1986.
Until Vasquez stops shooting, she just keeps on shooting.
Yeah, so adrenaline junkie female Vasquez, she's shooting everything. But how could you not?
Of course.
How could you not?
It's a heated battle, but they want her to use the flamethrowers.
Yeah. Well, the real thing is beyond the explosion is they want to bring something back. In the first one, they were all sent out there because they specifically chose them as being expendable.
Yeah.
When you talk about stuff hitting the fan, here it is.
This guy's panicking over
Yeah.
it. He's not even in the fight.
So now Ripley, being again the badass that she is, she's taking control.
She takes the Tesla.
Yep, she's taking the Cybertruck and she's gonna bash right through to give them somewhere to come out of. She knows what needs to be done.
This guy doesn't want to let her do anything. She's trying to save the squad.
Yeah, just like in the first movie, she is the voice of reason. She knows what needs to be done at what time. She doesn't care about, your feelings or protocol. She's about what's right. So she's just broke on through. She's trying to, all that area that they explored. So by the way, they just exploded their first alien. So they're going to realize real soon that those aliens are full of acid. We're at about an hour and 5 minutes into this movie right now. He just took it off, right? He took off his armor because he noticed that he was burning up.
He's burning up.
Yeah, from the splashes of acid.
Those scenes kind of remind me of like a little bit of a Terminator feel.
Look at it.
Oh boy. There it is.
Oh, it's over for him. They shot up another alien and he just exploded. That acid went all over one of the Colonial Marines, completely melted his face.
Vasquez doesn't want to listen.
Imagine that.
Mm-mm. Whoa.
They're trying to close the door. They have no idea what's about to come out.
Idiot.
I mean, you do the same.
He should have just done the Ric Flair.
Where are their eyes at? Poking yet. I don't know if he had enough time to beg off first.
So freedom does fit him.
Knocked out. But that's probably good too,
Mm-hmm.
Look at that wheels on fire.
That's cool. That's a cool fact. Whoa.
Oh! Oh, it's gonna burn the wheels.
Of course.
They just ran over an alien who tried to break into the Cybertruck. Oh, she ain't waiting for that to go up. And they just ran over it. Of course, again, it explodes. We've seen, 3 or 4 aliens explode, and the budget instantly so much higher than part 1.
Well, that's why I told you that detail of the alien having that acid blood is it makes you think like, damn, they can't shoot it. Well, how are they going to defeat this thing? You know, like, no, no, don't shoot.
Well, not only did they not only for that reason, but they were also in a place that could explode.
Yeah,
So
true.
they added that to it as well. For those of you just joining, DDG, the one right here, joining the chat at the same time. I asked earlier how long has it been since everybody watched Aliens, and as you see, he mentioned that it has been a long time for him. What about you? Drop when you first saw Aliens. Did you see it in the theater? Let us know down in the chat. I will be right back. What?
Not bad. They making pizza rolls for us or anything, man? You know?
No. Nobody wants to see us chomping down on anything. But some water, we can do that.
Speaking of acid, pizza rolls. How many times have you eaten those and they burn your mouth?
I don't even remember when I last ate a pizza roll.
No.
Have no idea. Have no idea when I last ate a pizza roll. You guys, pizza roll lovers out there, or at one point in your life where I have not eaten a pizza roll, and that's that I had a kid, you know, and I don't even know if I've ever even made pizza rolls for him.
It's just like
I don't want to get him hooked on
watching a movie, eating some pizza rolls. That was back, man. That's what we did, man. That's what we did.
Yeah, we try to be a little healthier now.
Pizza
with kids.
Generation screwed, man.
This generation screwed because they don't want to eat pizza rolls. I'm shocked that Vasquez doesn't have any burns on her with all of the shooting that she was doing. Right now, they're disposing of the body of one of the Marines.
They downgraded her to a pistol. Like, we're enough for you.
Yeah, earlier in the movie, she was what, with a Gatling gun?
Yeah, the gun.
Yeah,
pistol.
Pretty much a Gatling gun, and now she has a pistol. By the way, we're watching the 30th anniversary Aliens. Let's see, can I get it without all that glare? There it goes. That's a good shot. So this is an incredible release if you can still find it. I doubt it, especially with the new 4K release that's been out, which is hard to find by itself. But this one comes with an illustrated book, art cards, comic reprint. This is really an incredible release. As he knows, I'm often putting things up for sale on my eBay, but this is not one of them. This is definitely not one of them. Oh man, here we go.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So they had no idea that one of the aliens got on board the Tesla Cybertruck. No, that was her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my apologies. One of the aliens was on board.
Spaceship.
What was that? The spacecraft that was about to pick them up.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Don't know.
Where was that at versus, right?
Crazy.
We probably know if we were paying more attention, but we're also chatting a lot here.
We're chatting.
Yeah.
So this has the digital version too.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? The digital version?
That's the one that I streamed about in 2020.
Gotcha.
Was the digital version. And I believe that one got upgraded to 4K.
I like the cover.
Yeah.
Cover.
It's sweet, dude. It's really nice.
It?
I've had it whenever it came out. Whenever the year that it says it came out, that's when I got it. This looks great. Their skin tones versus that blue background looks great.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Cover as well.
And I want to say they sold that by itself.
You can kind of see that it.
Yeah. That to me, that Blu-ray looks like they sold that by itself as well. Afterwards.
Okay.
Because nothing, does that say 30th anniversary on it? No, that's just like aliens.
They might have.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary was including that box and including the art cards and everything else that's in there in the comic.
Crazy. Nowadays you can get 4K,
The Blu-ray and the digital
digital.
stream
All
on one.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do they still do the? No, they don't do the Blu-ray and DVD now. It's Blu-ray and digital.
Yeah.
Right? Remember how before they give you the DVD and the Blu-ray?
Yes. I personally am against that. There was one of the YouTubers here, and he was a smaller YouTuber, also in the same genre, the movies and reviews. But he had posed the question of like, he looked at the sales of Blu-rays versus 4Ks versus DVDs, and still 70% of the physical media market is dominated by DVD sales. And honestly, I wish they would just stop reproducing DVDs entirely, because a lot of those people, and maybe even some of you who are buying DVDs still, are watching it on a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching 480p content on something that is so far beyond that and can do so much more than that. So what is the point? I feel like
new movies shouldn't have a DVD.
Here's what I feel like it is. When Blu-rays came out, which was around the PS3 time, so what, 06?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or imagine, and in fact, this I believe this is true. The last VHS was sold in 05 or 06. And they were dying off way before that.
Sure.
So we're still producing DVDs today, even though we're in the age of 4K. And we're well into 4K.
It's already pushing 8K.
Yeah. I honestly feel and think that we should just stop. They need to stop making DVDs. And I know those who love DVDs and have DVD players don't want that to happen. But honestly,
I think the people that buy those is not because of the quality, it's just the price.
So people have said that too. I've seen that argument.
Yeah.
But I would be okay even if you were just buying the Blu-ray, because we're watching a Blu-ray on a 4K TV and it looks incredible. To watch 480p content is just, it doesn't make sense on a 4K TV.
For older movies, sure. Not new movies.
Not even.
A movie like, what's a new movie? Like Godzilla Kong. You wouldn't watch that on DVD. Then you'd be doing your...
Did that get released on DVD?
Blu-ray, yes. I don't think DVD.
I hope not. I hope not.
Let me check.
Let me put that in the chat.
Blu-ray and digital. They do have a DVD.
Are you serious?
$20, Walmart.
They gotta stop. And you cannot complain about 4Ks not selling when you're still selling DVDs. When you're still giving people those options, you have to cut that off.
This is a brand new movie. $20.
Yeah.
Now, The funny part is, and this is where it makes no sense. You can get the Blu-ray and the digital copy for $5 more for $25. Why the hell would you ever buy
And
the
how much is the 4K? 32.
29?
So they're all in $5 increments.
Right. So you can get the 4K and digital code. There's no longer 4K in the Blu-ray. You're just getting 4K and digital.
Yeah, for me, I honestly,
And the DVD, you don't even get the digital. You just get
you just get the DVD.
the DVD. So
And I'm pretty sure the one that sold the most was probably the DVD.
it's just cheaper.
I would, so as companies, I would adjust the cost and be like, Blu-rays are 23, $22.99, and the 4K is $26.99, $27. At some point, we have to understand that the cost is going to rise. It doesn't have to be ridiculous like some freaking 4K Blu-rays are, but it is going to rise.
I mean, 30's a lot, man. 30's a lot for. I think 20 is a sweet spot.
No.
For 4K?
No, that's too little.
I'm saying if you want physical media to still continue, you have to lower the price.
Physical media is still continuing. It's just it's dominated by DVD sales.
Right, because I mean, just look at Best Buy. There's,
They got rid of it completely.
You would go to Best Buy just for that. Like,
yeah.
You go look at the movies. Now it's like, where do you go? Where do we go? Target?
Walmart. Walmart has something
exclusive. Remember, we saw a lot of exclusive.
Yeah, they took over the steelbook market.
They did, for sure. Or you go to like older places, like
yeah,
that have retro stuff. But
I mean, Walmart even got the exclusive first VHS in 18 years.
Did they really? Which one?
Terrifier 2.
Wow.
On a double tape set.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Like in there.
If you can find it.
Oh yeah, it's hard to find.
Yeah. The horror fans have bought it out very quickly.
Yeah. There was this website that I used to go to, and it was actually pretty cool. You can buy the digital codes that people have, that they have, like,
yeah,
and you get them like really cheap, which I thought was a pretty cool idea.
100%. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys into digital codes? I know I praise physical media, but I praise physical media for a reason. If you're spending $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, now that's not the majority of people out there. I know that. So, if you're into digital codes, let me know in the chat below. I'll start doing giveaways of digital codes. I don't mind that one bit.
And, use Movies Anywhere. I think that's the one.
Yeah, Movies Anywhere, Fandango at Home, formerly Voodoo.
Yeah.
That is not a friendly title. I love your Fandango. Thank you for everything you give me, but Fandango at Home. Voodoo was definitely a much better name for a streaming service.
Yeah.
Does anybody stream on Crackle? I don't know why we're talking about names of streaming services that work, and like one that just comes up. I'm again sorry if you guys want to, if somebody from Crackle Sony is watching or ends up watching this, but that name, just never understood. In fact, I'm not the only one that ever say it. Jerry Seinfeld said it too, because that's where his original Comedians in Cars or whatever for coffee, Comedians in Cars for Coffee or some shit. His first was on Sony's Crackle, and then he got offered to go to Netflix, and he was like, yeah, of course I'm going there. Who knew the show even existed when it was on Crackle?
You need to clip that quote of you saying that and then just add crickets. Anybody stream on Crackle? Cricket.
I can't even remember the movie, but it was like an Asian movie. No, but it was great. It was on Crackle. It was a Crackle exclusive. And it was like Jurassic Park, but instead of dinosaurs, think of lava being the thing that was like really threatening everybody there. So these volcanoes kept exploding. So they were, the lava was covering over here. There would be big glops drop. It was actually a really good movie. I forget what the name of it was, but it was an Asian movie.
Um, the only movies I saw in Crackle were the Dead Rising ones with Jesse Metcalf, I think his name is.
Those were those Crackle exclusives? Those were.
Yes, sir. Dead Rising.
Yeah. So right now at this point in the movie, just to catch you guys up, Ripley is talking to Paul Reiser's character, and I feel horrible that I don't know his name in this movie. Let's see. She's pretty much figuring out that his interests are completely the opposite of what common sense would dictate. She's talking to Burke, Paul Reiser's character Burke, and obviously it's because he is what the android was in the first one. He's just there to bring an alien back. Greed for Wayland, the company. Oh, don't know if you guys caught this, but I'm wearing an alien shirt. This shirt, well, it was really cool. This shirt was actually through one of the boxes, the subscription boxes.
The loot box thing?
That's it.
Yeah.
I had forgot the name of it completely, but Loot Box.
Yeah.
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate. I was subscribed to it again, the pandemic era. I'm probably still paying for this shirt today.
Okay.
And yeah, this came in there, and I remember at first I was just like, an alien shirt. Then when I put it on a few months later, after I, had 4 or 5 boxes there, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I love the shirt. So you can get some really cool stuff. In fact, there's a lot of stuff that I kept from Loot Crate. To this day, they really did give you some cool stuff, but you got to have some expendable money, which not a lot of people have anymore.
Well, I like that they had different themes. Yeah, they had different themes. One time it would be horror or video game, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
And couldn't you choose to like not be part of one? Like you kind of like freeze your account and then be like, oh, I don't like this theme. So
yeah, you could do that. Well, no, I think they had different Loot Crates. They had like Loot Crate WWE, Loot Crate horror, Loot Crate sci-fi, Loot Crate anime.
Yeah.
But it wasn't random what you got every month. You could literally subscribe to just one of those, subscriptions.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're sending Bishop the android through what? And he's in they put him in a super tight. What would you say that is?
Looks like
like a tunnel?
Like a pipe.
Yeah, they're putting Bishop in a pipeline.
Yeah.
And it's a very realistic pipeline because it is small.
Well, he can't. He doesn't have emotions.
Right.
He doesn't have claustrophobia.
Yeah, he's going to do whatever you need him to do. What happened to Kyle Reese character, the actor? I feel like he just kind of phased out in the early 90s.
Oh man, I can't think of another movie that he made where
Terminator 1 and Aliens.
That's it.
And I'm sure he started in other movies.
Nothing memorable. Well, let's see. Let's see what other movies he's made. What movies? Oh no, he was. He's. I forgot he was in this. He was in Tombstone. You never seen Tombstone, have you?
I own it though, on VHS.
That's a movie.
I see he was in Abyss.
Abyss, yeah.
That's a classic movie.
Navy SEALs, remember with Charlie Sheen?
No, not at all.
You don't remember that?
He was in The Rock.
I don't remember him in The Rock.
Now, mind you, I've only seen The Rock when it came out. That was it. I only saw it when it came out.
Brother. We gotta do a Nicolas Cage.
He's in Alien 3. Maybe he has a small. Because I don't know if he makes it through this. So.
And then it just goes down.
This scene looks great right now.
He was in The Art of War, which was his name.
Okay. I actually have that too. I have that on VHS.
Planets. Oh, Grindhouse. The Grindhouse movie with Quentin Tarantino.
Never seen it.
American Dragons.
He's been in a lot of movies, huh?
He has, but these are straight to Tubi.
Tubi, go back to your original
Streets of Love.
logo, please.
Like, oh man, dude. You know what's funny? Verizon just switched those same colors. You ever seen Verizon?
From red,
Yeah, it's terrible.
they're purple and yellow.
No, they're Hogan.
Red and yellow.
Yeah, they're
Verizon is red and yellow
they're
now.
Hogan Wireless.
They're Mania Wireless.
They're real.
So we're in the slow part of the movie. Timing wise, for anybody who wants to catch up, even afterwards, by the way, guys, if you see the stream afterwards, we are at 1 hour and 28 minutes and 56 seconds, hour 28, 58 seconds, 59 seconds, hour and 29 minutes.
It's starting to look like that.
Oh, wow.
You gotta go to it when you go to the store. It's like, dude, you're like.
Oh, they revamped the stores already?
It looks like McDonald's. Everybody's making fun of it. It looks terrible, bro.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Well, that's your world, the wireless world. Ripley is cuddling up to Newt. I believe I remember, and I don't know if it's been said in this theatrical version. I personally might be remembering the director's cut, but I remember them talking about, or there being scenes of them saying that Ripley's daughter died. And it was never mentioned in part one that she had a daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong, because we're watching the theatrical version of this, by the way.
Sigourney's 74 years old.
Yeah, Sigourney doesn't need to be in any more Alien movies.
Let's see what movies she's been in. Aliens, obviously. Ghostbusters.
Tell me which one. I haven't. I've never seen Ghostbusters one.
Chat.
Eventually, that
as a Thorn
ultimate.
You're gonna be watching Ghostbusters.
You have that ability, by the way.
Yeah.
You have that ability as an ultimate member to request reviews. That's one of the benefits of the ultimate tier, because that if you pay, you're the one that says what goes.
There you go.
Yeah, I've never seen Ghostbusters. I've seen Ghostbusters 2, but the last time I literally saw it was when I was 4, 5 years old.
Yeah.
What is the movie that I said that I remember her with the blonde hair? Galaxy something?
Galaxy Quest?
Galaxy Quest, yep.
This one.
That's the only way I remember her. See, when I think about her in Alien, is this shortcut.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Woo. So a face hugger just lunged at Ripley.
And that was close.
And again, they had no idea that there was anything on board.
Scary.
How's Barb's?
Avatar?
How's Barb's? Yeah?
I might check on her in a minute. She was Magadon and let her, cats might be in the bathroom with you.
Yeah.
And she kept scratching the door. She was pissed.
That's funny.
Sure. This is the face she gave me.
Is that her?
Yeah. She
looks like Daisy there.
When I came out, dude, she was looking at me like that. I was like, oh. Maybe irate.
She looks like Daisy there. Irate.
She was in Cabin in the Woods?
Yes. He's the ultimate heel at the end. Yeah, she just has like a speaking thing at the end.
Does she?
Yeah.
Avatar, Pose, Gorillas in the Mist. I do remember that movie.
I remember the commercials, the theatrical commercials or trailers.
Red Lights.
So they're still stuck in this room. Nobody's paying attention to them. stuck with the face hugger, Ripley and Newt. Once again, I think, and because this is the theatrical cut, I never remember them saying anything about her daughter, and I think I'm remembering scenes of the director's cut, but it would explain why Ripley is so taken but to being like that motherly figure
Yeah.
to Newt, right? Because somebody as hard edge as she is, you would not think that she would be able to take to a child. But if she was a mother, she knows exactly how to slow down and become a mother again. I think that's something that was in the director's cut that I remember. There it goes. There goes a face hugger. Puppy, Jesus Christ.
Oh man, dude, that's terrifying.
Oh my God. Yeah. Special effects have gotten so much better between 79.
And the kid's
And
screaming.
then, there goes another one right behind her. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Kyle Reese will always be Kyle Reese.
It's not Kyle Reese. It's
That's not? Is that Bill Paxton?
No, I'm saying that's not his name. You're gonna confuse.
No, he's always going to be Kyle Reese.
Yeah. Stop. Would you stop shooting it?
Again, they're forgetting. They're forgetting that they bleed acid.
This thing is choking her.
Michael Bean. Michael Bean? Let's see.
Ripped it apart.
So now they clearly know that somebody brought the face huggers on board, and it's Paul Reiser's character, Burke.
In response to this question.
So right now, again, they're all confronting him. They know that none of the Marines could actually do this because they've all been looked at as expendable. So Burke, the character, oh man, all the lights just went out as they're interrogating him and calling him a piece of crap for turning on them, not caring about the team, only caring about the company. But also the color tone shifted of the movie right now. It just turned to red, and this entire movie's been blue, right? A very blue tone.
Yeah, it has been like that blue tone. Now it's all red. But these are like the emergency lights that are on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that right on the screen. So anybody joining the chat, you can go ahead. You'll see it first thing as you join the stream. Go ahead and answer it in the chat if you're new. We're watching Aliens, the theatrical version from 1986. Time code wise, we are at an hour and 37 minutes on the dot. And as live watch alongs go, I cannot put this any higher than what it's at. God, I hope, dude, if they do a claim on this, I'll be shocked because this is what, at 6?
Yeah.
This is low.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked though.
I would be shocked because we can barely hear it. If anybody is wrestling fans in the chat and you're joining us, thank you for sacrificing watching WWE Raw, for watching Thorn Theater and Aliens Watch Along. Appreciate you.
Mhm. Speaking of wrestling, what do you think about that botch? Yeah,
The Damian Priest botch.
not his name. But yeah,
So if you guys are wrestling fans, Damian Priest, who's the WWE wrestler, he calls him Fake Thorn because the guy literally looks like he can be one of my cousins, one of my family members. There was a time when I had my sides shaved just like him, probably had the same body fat as him,
okay.
and we looked like twins. So, but it represents a bigger problem overall. I don't blame Fake Thorn. I don't blame Damian Priest. I blame the business as a whole because you used to be taught as a referee, if you don't kick out, I'm counting to three. And again, if the music doesn't hit a woo,
That's got to be the scariest scene in the movie so far.
so they think they're trying to get out, and there are tons and tons of aliens that just joined them and are on the attack, and they're falling through the ceiling.
That was terrifying.
And there's no CGI in this. This is 1986. That doesn't even exist. What an ad! Oh my god!
Wow.
So besides, you know, making them all expendable, bringing aliens on board, the small ones at least, the face huggers, lying to the team, he just left Ripley and Newt behind. A woman and a child. Close the door on them. The spineless jackass that Burke is. There goes Bill Paxton's character.
Let him go. He's gone.
Yep, one of the aliens just came up from the grate at the bottom and took him out. Woo! They're jumping now. The other thing is too is again, like I mentioned, the practical effects, how they improved, bro, from 79 to 86 is insane. The fact that we can have several aliens on the screen at the same time, and they're not just standing up straight either.
3 years.
From 86 to 79? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said
No, 7 years. You thought I said 83, 86?
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
79, 86. This is completely different time frame. Completely different time frame, man. Oh, these things look real.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's no sense of, in the face hugger too, you know? Oh, man, there goes Burke.
That was great.
I love that they don't have to show it. That was one of the best things of the 80s. You did not have to show it.
You already knew what would happen.
Yep. The anticipation, the pre-scene, all that stuff, the sound effects, that it sold it for you. And these are metal doors, right?
Yeah.
Metal doors, and the aliens are breaking through, trying to break through. No, they're breaking through.
That's how my cat was when I was in the bathroom. Dude, she wouldn't stop.
Did you kick the door?
And nothing stopped her.
She is persistent. She is very persistent.
It felt like she was like going like this, like kicking the door like this with her foot. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? She's persistent, bro. That was funny when she I was remembering that I went to the porch and I remember when she stuck her head out. We're like, what? I couldn't believe it.
He's got a head level window on his back door. We were on the porch just chilling out, and his cat managed to get on the kitchen counter stretch herself up, and then move the curtain to the side to pop her head out to look at us.
It was funny, man. It was terrifying too. It was just like,
You looked at me like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at this cat who just fucking suddenly grew 4 feet. And is looking at us from a fucking window that's at eye level.
oh, it was terrifying. Oh, that's scary. Uh-oh.
Oh, she doesn't stand a chance. There's no way. Vasquez is in danger right now, but she's holding her own.
Oh, what?
She shot the alien in the head, but it was bleeding that acid on her boot. She's about to lose her foot.
Take that boot off.
Yep, it's diabetes foot time for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this looks like a Terminator scene right there.
Yeah. James Cameron, man.
Yeah, James Cameron, brother. Isn't it's wild that he never returned to this series and fake returned to the Terminator series.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So, isn't that? See, now that's a hero.
Yeah, so Vasquez and another Marine, as I Seagal it right here. Vasquez and another Marine, they just sacrificed themselves.
I would say has thought as well.
They just sacrificed themselves to kill the alien because they knew they weren't going to get out of this alive. Luke gone. Down the hatch she goes. So officially at this point, do we only have Ripley and Michael left?
That's it?
I think so. Oh, this is such a great scene.
Why the little girl too?
This is such a good scene. So Newt's in the lower depths. She fell down a chute, and she's about 75% covered in water of her body.
Yeah. See how the little girl has kind of grown attached to her too?
Oh yeah,
At first she didn't trust anyone, and now
yeah. Those motherly instincts that again, I don't think were ever mentioned in this theatrical release, but definitely in the director's cut.
look at the beep.
So the
Oh,
so the movement sensor is going off right now, and there are a lot of aliens coming right to where they are. They're trying to get Newt out of that lower depth. Jesus Christ. There it goes.
yeah, but she said they don't kill you.
Yeah.
They kind of harvest you.
They harvest you. They want to, what is it, impregnate you to make another one, right?
Yeah.
Or merge with you, something like that.
Like a Um, surrogates. Ah, no. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
They're
Take it
about
off.
to
Take
get
it off.
on
Take it
what
off.
looks like an elevator. One of the aliens try to get through, and of course,
You don't take care of that.
yeah, they shot it. They really did utilize the acid in this one as a threat.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. He's selling.
he sure is doing a good job of selling too.
Yeah.
Of that acid getting on him. That's right. We still got Bishop Lance Henriksen out there. I think he's like droning that in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Controlling a spacecraft remotely. Yeah, he is. They got 26 minutes until they have to leave. But of course, Newt cannot be left behind. They have to find her. Oh, look, that is CGI. A version of it.
Very Star Wars-ish.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not CGI. That's probably them in front of
A screen.
yeah, yeah. Maybe a miniature in front of a screen. Notice they kept that shot to a minimum.
Which is fine. It did what it needed to do.
Yep.
The Terminator lightning.
Mm-hmm. You don't get lightning like that no more.
Thank God.
Is it too obvious?
Oh man.
It added to the look, though.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Did.
Oh, by the way, you saw. I actually watched the last Kumite with DDG over here, and remember I told you Viking Samurai was in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTuber. He donated to the channel.
Kidding me?
Yeah, he donated $25 via Buy Me a Coffee.
You're kidding me?
No.
Wow.
Very cool guy. If you guys are into martial arts, Viking Samurai has an amazing channel on YouTube, and he is a great defender of the Sensei Seagal. So you guys need to go and subscribe to him.
For that reason alone.
That's right. As we have learned how to Seagal it ourselves here.
Uh-huh.
This is the Seagal preferred seating position. Actually, you got to cross the legs and lean off to one side. If you see him in his later movies where he's, put on quite a bit of weight in the last 15 years, he always sits off to the side like this.
Leaning, and then you got to have your hands like.
Yeah. The hands got to be folded. So, Sensei Seagal and Viking Samurai. You actually had a talk with him. You interviewed him.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Mm. What was I gonna tell you? Did he see your review of Last Kumite, and that's when he did it?
Yes.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, he appreciated the review. All right, so right now, time code wise, for anybody who is following along, or if you join later, or on the rewatch, we are at 1 hour and 51 minutes and 55 seconds. 56, 57, 58, 59, an hour and 56 minutes. And Ripley is not playing around at this point.
No.
Michael.
Personal now.
Yeah, it's personal now. Michael is with Bishop on the ship that they're going to use to get away. They have less than 25 minutes now, and she is not leaving without Newt. She knows that they don't kill you first. They use you as a host, really. And she's going in there, and she knows that fire is the way.
Dude, I feel like I've watched two different movies. like I watched that first hour and it was like, what is this? And now it's like a whole different movie.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you can cut off that first hour and get to where they're in the spaceship and be just fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Once a movie picks up, if it picks up like this one did,
Yeah.
an hour in, well, it was about 45 minutes when they actually entered and started exploring. That's all I need.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. They just tell me that, there's new Marines exploring.
No fear.
No.
No fear.
But again, she's, as we were talking about earlier, female strong leads. This movie had Vasquez, who was that adrenaline, tough, badass, physically strong. And then you've got Ripley, who has no fear.
Yep.
Also no emotion.
The top two most memorable characters in the movie and the strongest.
Yeah.
In both ways, I think.
Yeah.
Physically and
What's interesting about this is she's going in. And we're going to be introduced to something that we've never seen before in this series. Obviously, this being the second one, the most iconic one. But she's going in to save Newt, right? So you would think that she's just going in to defend herself, right? Long enough to save Newt. But she doesn't. She encounters something incredible.
Oh boy.
And she goes all out to make sure that she's going to piss this thing off.
When you see this, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
That's one of the most like iconic, I would say, reveals,
Yeah.
of a heel character.
We're 2 hours into this movie and we haven't seen anything about this particular alien that we're about to encounter.
You didn't know.
No.
You didn't know.
No.
But if
It
you
is still alive.
together, you would kind of like afterwards be like, oh.
So we're showing Newt. She's attached to the wall, and then also one of the eggs are hatching, and a face hugger. These damn things are coming out.
That's it. She heard.
Newt screamed. Ripley's going into it's like spider webs. I mean, obviously, I don't know what it's actually called, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a
harvest you.
cocoon that they.
Yeah, they cocoon you. Yeah. They've set the place up for destruction. Or a lot of 80s movies have. It's about to self-destruct. Here we go. She's got Newt. She can just get away. But she realizes that she is right there in the nest of eggs, surrounded by them. Can she just continue to run? She can. But she's about to choose violence right now.
Look at that. You see that?
Yeah.
That's creepy. Like, where is that coming from?
A new egg was just birthed.
Like,
we're slowing down here. We're getting to that point. The first ever reveal. As if this movie didn't go all out already and give us more. The Queen.
oh my goodness.
The Queen alien.
Thing. Look at the size of that thing.
And they built it too.
Oh my. Look at the look on her face.
Look at that.
Wow. Hissing.
The aliens are coming out because the mother is waking up.
Yep.
They're all kind of warning her, like, stay away.
This is Mama. This is Big Mama. And Big Mama ain't happy you burning her eggs.
Yep. Well, she hasn't yet. Look at that look on Ripley's face, coming face to face with Queen. All the stress, all her partners. You see that?
It's like that she called her off, right?
Yep.
Like, hey, get back. Get back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A Ripley is, basically warning shot.
Yeah. She
And
called,
the Queen fully understands.
right? That's the cool part.
Yep.
Is that she understood and called them off.
They start retreating. Uh-oh. That's it. Ripley chose violence. She sets a fire.
Oh, boy.
She sets a blaze to the nest.
And just pissed off a Big Mom.
Yep. That's cool. That gun is a flamethrower and a machine gun.
I mean, she knew it. If you
can
escape, but they're gonna still keep coming if you don't do something about it.
Oh man. She's setting off. She's blowing bombs at it too. Look at that. Look at that. Destroying everything she can.
You better get out of there.
Yep. I mean, the badassery of Ripley. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
Oh, Queen is loose.
Oh. And she ain't happy.
Oh, it's detaching itself.
Now
basically detaching the umbilical cord.
Just like that's where
she ripped it off herself. For any Aliens video game players out there, does any Alien game really capture what this movie gives you? Which one is the one that Fireteam Bravo?
No, but the one that I think the one that captures the Alien, the first movie, the best is Alien. Is it?
Is it Isolation? That's the first person, right?
That one is it captures because you're not you don't really fight the alien. You gotta hide from it. So it's like you're defenseless against it, which just makes sense. All of that thing. Oh my goodness.
And Ripley, I don't think Ripley thought that the Queen would come after her.
Look at how big that thing is.
She briefly faced the alien in part one, and this is 5 times its size. It takes the elevator because the other one opened up. By the way, if there is a magic elixir alcohol company that would like to sponsor Thorn Theater, I'm all down for it because we're drinking water right now, which is great. I love water and I drink plenty of it. But if you want to show off your brand, I'm more than willing to work with you. Thorn Theater Reviews at gmail.com. Lots of small alcohol beers that are out now, small companies. I'm more than willing to work with you. All you got to do is send out a pack.
Maybe a real American beer or whatnot.
So Bishop to the rescue finally arrives, but so did the Queen.
Cutting it close.
Yep. She puts Newt
First.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she puts Newt on there.
Yeah, she's like, "Come on, get up there."
But you don't think this Queen is just gonna let Ripley go?
No, you just killed all her kids.
Yep. So they are making a getaway. Bishop successfully has gotten them out. But we know exactly what's going to happen right now. We cannot have a happy ending. Not this soon. So for sure, not only does she do damage and try to kill, all the nest, the entire place exploded right now.
Yep.
So that place is gone. And by all means, everybody thinks they're safe. I'm shocked that the theatrical version goes over 2 hours for 1986. An age when movies were famous for doing, an hour and 20, that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
So really, they were like 90 minutes.
Oh, 90 minutes, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, 100 was like, whoa,
Yeah, you're right, 90 minutes was like
So they've officially made it back to the station, all the way back to the station.
I'm trying to think, how much fit on a VHS?
Depending on how they recorded it.
Was to put it like, what would be the, like 90, was 90 or 120? What was
120 was for the highest quality SP. What they probably did with this one was record it in LP, long play, which is 4 hours. It would fit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! They think everything's okay.
Look at that.
But the alien just stuck. What? Its tail.
Tentacle.
Its tentacle through Bishop. The android.
Yep. You see how he's shooting out the white stuff and not the rip.
I mean that the Queen is not holding back. She's pissed. Look at that. Look at the size.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The kids used to going down through tunnels.
That's how they would play like hide and go seek or whatever. See, what I love too is that you get the enormity of the character of the alien, because those shots, they're not showing the entire thing, right? That's one of my big issues with Godzilla versus Kong. What I said in my review is that, like, at all times you could see the entire body of this 40, 50, 60 foot monster. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. As opposed to Godzilla minus one, you felt the enormity of Godzilla.
He was huge.
Yeah.
He's huge.
These fuckers are as big as the pyramids in Godzilla vs Kong, and they didn't even feel like it. Everything felt like it was normal size.
Mhm.
And here with this alien, this queen alien, she's after Nuke. She's ripping off the graded ground to get to Nuke. She's like, "You killed mine. I'm gonna kill yours."
There it is.
Ah, the mech suit makes a return. And she's using skills that she learned for this blue collar job, which, by the way, earlier, one of the things they were mentioning was like, you're going to have to start from the bottom. And she just iterated the famous words, "Get away from her, bitch."
Mm-hmm.
She's using those blue collar, bottom of the barrel skills to defeat the alien, queen alien. Yeah, this is way more of an encounter than what you had with the first one.
Oh, for sure.
Woo! That scorpion-like tail that it has,
Yep.
bashing up against the mech suit. If you notice, in the mech suit, she's basically doing this.
She's doing this. She's doing a keto.
She's doing a keto in front of it to confuse it.
Kills the alien with a short arm clothesline.
Oh, it sounds like Jake.
Oh. Look, the extra little head.
Yeah.
There it is.
Using the blowtorch.
Shit.
So she's holding it above the hatch, right? Because the only way you're gonna get rid of this thing is to open up a hatch and send it outside. But it grabs onto her. Well, onto the mech suit, anyways. Brings the entire thing down. Thankfully, that mech suit falls on top of it. See how they use like some really good things to like cover up the fact of that they don't want to show the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh no.
So grabbed down, reached up and grabbed onto her foot. She just opened up the hatch. They're in space. Bishop, by no means should be held. Her shoulder should come out of place.
Of course.
The alien and space itself is sucking out, and she's holding on by one arm. Ripley.
Yeah. No,
But bye.
Little free the space.
Yep. There goes the queen rolling through space. Newt is almost gone, but Bishop, half body.
What a hero.
Yep. Half body and all still grabs onto her. Closing the hatch. Get your leg in there.
Yep.
Or you lose that too. Yeah, this movie is epic. Even the android.
Looks amazing.
Like they didn't go for a mechanical Terminator, like because this is after Terminator. So they didn't go for a Terminator metal built robot. They went for an android.
But look at his the guts inside almost seemed like he was half human.
Right. They got all the right things hooked up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's character is also there. So he did survive. Yeah, he
Yeah.
might be in part 3 then.
Yeah.
You ever seen Alien 3?
Dude, I'm telling you, I've seen him, but it's like years and years. If I saw him again, it'd be like the first time I seen him. She got Bush. Right?
Yeah, well, she was super clean in part 1, but I
Right.
heard that they uh, airbrushed her bush out in part 1. Yeah, because she was super clean.
Bush.
Here, in this Blu-ray and theatrical release of the Blu-ray, it does not look like they airbrushed anything out.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like she's packing quite a bit down there.
Yeah. I know, right? Like back in the day, that was considered like now.
Oh, brother. Everybody is in their cryo chambers sleeping.
Yeah, cryo chambers. Yeah.
Just zoom in on Ripley and Newt, and here we are with the fade out. Yeah, for sure. Epic, completely giving giving away the rating before I do it, but it already completely eclipses part 1 in so many areas and so many factors. I'm not giving it away yet, the ranking, because there's still 6 movies for me to watch in this series, but that was Aliens from 1986. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Those who joined, those who are going to watch this stream afterwards, I left you time codes. And remember that we are going through all 8 movies through July and August leading up to Alien Romulus. Please check out the Alien playlist. Check out my former playlist of the movies I just watched and ranked in Beverly Hills Cop. Thank you for spending Monday with me and DDG. I'm Alex Thorn, and you know what I got to do? I got to rock out so I can watch some movies and review them for you.